guys, what's up? How's it going? This is Enrique, and welcome to my my pen name Sketch Monster, but welcome to my page. And today we're going to go over how to draw a monster nose. And I want to go over, because obviously there's no right answer to this, so I wanted to kind of go over a few tips on it and maybe how to make an efficient one or like a better looking one. I'm going to be using this pencil just to kind of demonstrate. Really, this is just a regular graphite pencil, but if you care, it's an Aqua Sketch brand. It's Portfolio Aqua Sketch. It's a 6B, but it's not really going to matter, the pencil. We're going to talk, like I said, a few tips on noses. So a few things about the nose. I am going to just talk about a couple of things. One, you don't have to put a nose, right? But I will show you kind of what people tend to put. But a good way to talk about the nose and how to draw these kind of science fiction noses or horror like animal noses is to kind of know what it's made up of. And I'm going to go over really quick about a human nose and what that's made up of. So in the human nose, if you look at the skull really fast, hopefully this kind of autofocuses, we have this kind of ridge bone right here. And then from here on out, it is cartilage, mostly. So that cartilage is very malleable. And you'll kind of notice that as, like when, for example, if you're drawing a nose, some people have this kind of downward hanging nose. And then some people have this really, really upturned nose. Because that cartilage is so malleable, and the skeleton is like maybe right here, right? The actual skull, somewhere around here. So this part at the end can be a lot of things. You know, you get things like this, like trolls, like you get things like yeah, really, I was thinking of like trolls and orcs and things of that sort. Tend to have this downward hanging nose if they are humanoid, depending on how humanoid they are. And then like fairies and stuff like that tend to have this upward turned nose. And obviously that's not like, you know, because I got a nose like this, by the way. So it's not exactly like, doesn't mean anything, but it's just a stylized thing that people do for certain things. So for monsters, they tend to do like this giant hanging nose, or no nose, right? I want to talk about that really fast. When you're doing no nose, you think of things like I don't know exactly what character, but you know, when you see a skull, you see this gaping hole right there, and that's that hole of, you know, right where the cartilage doesn't continue. It is just the bone. And that can look, you know, kind of eerie and evil and stuff like that. So they use that a lot. Like if you look at Skeletor, or if you look at, you know, even this science fiction stuff, you'll see this kind of nasal cavity. And from the front, if you look at this guy from the front here, he has that split in the middle. What I've seen a lot done is sometimes they have that little bit of cartilage left. So if you were to turn this skull to the front, let's make it more the front, they'll have that divide of the nostrils in certain science fiction noses, and I've seen that a lot. But that's what that is. They're showing that you have very little, if no, you have no bridge to your nose at all. Like it's just like this empty, cavernous thing. So that would be a good idea. I've seen that in plenty of creature designs. So even if you draw no nose, sometimes it's good to draw something there. You know, maybe like 2 dots on a creature design. You know, like two little tiny holes, because you know, you want to make sure it breathes. You know, it has to run. If it's like this kind of like fast creature or something like that, it's probably gonna need to breathe more than just its mouth. So you'll throw maybe like something like that. I see that a lot on zombies as well. It's kind of, you know, the meat is all mashed together. So another note on noses. I want to talk about animal noses a little bit too, if you want to incorporate that as well. I was thinking mostly about, for example, this is a coyote skull, and I use it a lot in my examples here. But if you kind of take a look at it, it has this portion, this part of the snout here, and then it has the same kind of hole that we do. Oh, sorry, that's not gonna make it autofocus. It has that same kind of hole you know, because they need a lot of oxygen to breathe, to take in. But they will have this ridge right here, and that's one way to also pull out like a snout when you're talking about a character, especially if a character is like a werewolf, you know, something a little more dog-like. You're gonna pull that snout out, you know, and then you have the eyes back here set in. But that is actually bone, though, as well. You have to kind of remember that that's bone. On certain dinosaurs, it's not bone, but that's like a different thing. On certain dinosaurs, they will have a huge hole here for some of the muscles. If you look at the T-Rex skull, I don't have a T-Rex skull. I wish I had a duplicate of a T-Rex skull. I don't. It will have this giant hole here for other muscles, kind of like when it eats. You know, the wolves and like that tend not to have that. If I was to compare this with a, you know, in-betweener, you can go to maybe like this one's is a bobcat skull. And if you check this out, see the ridge is in between. It's not quite a human, and obviously it's not quite as long as a snout as like a coyote or a wolf or a dog, even parts of some dogs. But this guy has that kind of in-betweener thing, starting to almost a little bit pull out. It's more longer than a human. So I was gonna say the point of this would be keep this in mind, keep this ridge in mind, and keep this bony ridge when you want to do kind of more animalized monsters and things of that sort. And also keep in mind the kind of the cartilage bone and where the bone begins and where it ends, where the cartilage begins and ends. It's a good idea to kind of build off reality and kind of mix, match, and do your own. Anyways, that's about it. That's a small thing on noses. Noses are not. They're not the end all be all. They're not as malleable as like a mouth or you know, or even certain eyes. But that's pretty much it. That's a few tips on it. That's all I wanted to give. So these are things that go through my head when I'm actually drawing. So thanks a lot, guys. If you did like this video, I'm gonna put more up pretty soon. And share this video if you can. It helps me a lot when you do that. Thank you, guys. See ya.